Hello, Internet. Welcome to another Wednesday serial. I am going to try to do a single take, single recommendation for you tonight. I am speaking of Ultraman. This is the beginning of the new age. Kind of a on the nose title, but this is really cool. For the uninitiated, Ultraman's really old 60s Japanese TV show that was the whole, some guy in a suit gets really big and tackles the literal monster of the week on some like fake landscape that's supposed to make them look giant even though they're not. That whole thing. I don't know a lot about it. I've never really watched it. I've only been like vaguely aware of it because, I watch Power Rangers or whatever, and you just kind of absorb these things as you go along. But something about this caught my eye, and I flipped through, and the art is a damn good. It was actually, in particular, looking through, the front has some color pages, most of it's in black and white, but this page just caught me, and I was like, you know what? I'm looking for something new. Let's try this out. And so Ultraman is a total reboot, and you get all these weird instances. You get this sense of picking up from something like Invincible, where Shin Hayata, who was the old Ultraman. Well, really, Ultraman is an alien that inhabited him, and they were perceived as Ultraman, but it was really a hybrid sort of thing. And okay, whatever. But because of that, since the alien Ultraman left, he's left with something that was labeled the Ultraman Factor, which means he's just kind of weirdly strong and maybe some other properties going on that they'll talk about later. But he had a son, which I'm not going to try to pronounce in the interest of Japanese-American relations. But he's kind of the typical teenager dealing with girl problems, and we don't get a lot of that if you're worried about that, which I was for a minute, but it goes right past it. Do this one little interesting bit where he's trying to protect a girl that he's kind of interested in from like this bully who's picking on her, and he runs up and is like, "Stop, hooligans!" And all his friends are like, "Is he talking like an old comic book character?" And I'm sure that's how it was, And then things go horribly awry when he tries to save her, but he has all this strength, and it's kind of like that take of like, what if that superpower person had these powers but things went a little awry in a modern sort of take thing. It was quickly done enough that, I've seen this before, but it was well implemented and really showed kind of the issue of why this guy is shy and kind of feeling outcast and didn't really know. And so he finds out about the legacy kind of while this goes on. It's just the kind of is because we jump into one hell of an action scene with a bunch of cool stuff. And one of the coolest things about the action in this comic is the fact that Ultraman now is more like an Iron Man suit than the giant, robo kaiju kind of deal. And in this we get pepperings of stuff that are clearly influenced by American comics, but aren't the old stuff. So that's really interesting to me. So yeah. Because of this, I'm kind of digging into some other manga. There's this. There's something else I'm trying out. One Punch Man is on the way. I have some Black Lagoon to catch up on. I think it's going to be a thing. So let me know if you guys have read Ultraman or if you're interested. Because some of you aren't as familiar, this thing's retailing at $13, but this is the equivalent of like a trade, but it's the only way you're gonna get it here stateside. But if you go online at all, you're gonna get it significantly cheaper. So yeah, I don't know. Catch y'all soon with another comic review.